G'day people, I'm Sharyn and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how you go about changing a blade in your Overlocker or Serger. To start with, I've got three blades here. This one is for a Janome 644D, this one's for a Janome air threader, and this one is for a Baby Lock Evolution. You can see they are quite different. They're different in size, they're different in the angle that the blade's at, the places where you put the screw in, it's all different. And it's really important that you get the right blade for your machine. It's good to know, however, that most brands do put a spare blade in with your accessories. So before you go out looking to buy one, check amongst your accessories and see if you can find one there, because there often is a spare blade in amongst your accessories. The other thing you can see I've got here is a little spanner. It's a 7mm one, and that's what I need to use for dealing with my Janome 644D. You may need a different size spanner depending on which brand of machine you're looking at. I'm not actually going to take the blade off my machine, but I will show you where the things are that you need to be looking for. First, open up your machine, and there is the blade. It is actually the same as this one. It makes a lot of sense to hand wind the machine and see how far down that blade comes, because you need to get it back in there, or the new one back in there, at that same level. The whole of the blade needs to come down past the top of this lower blade. The blades are made of a really good quality steel, and they're quite expensive for such a small part, so it really is worthwhile checking to see if you've got some in your accessories. It's also very important that this part be on here very, very firmly. So that's why we need the spanner. Put the spanner on and push it down about 1/4 of a turn. After that, you'll be able to use a Phillips head screwdriver to get this one off. When you go to put the new one back on, get it in there and get it tight with a screwdriver first. The screwdriver will, when it's in there, set it between the two sides here, and that will get you the back and front, but the up and down you need to have a little bit of manoeuvring in to get that blade at exactly the right height. It is vital when you finish putting that blade in and getting it in the right place, use the spanner and get it back really, really tight. It's very important for these parts to be in there tight, and that's why I'm not taking this one out, because I know it's actually a bit difficult for me to do. If you don't have it in the right place, it may start chewing your fabric or not cutting it. So it is important to get it into the right place, and that's why I say make sure before you start taking it out that you work out where it's supposed to be. Blades on overlockers actually last a long time, as long as what they're being asked to cut is fabric. If you're asking them to cut pins because you've put a pin in sideways and it's gone over the pin as it's tried to cut the fabric, there's a couple of really bad things can happen. The first one is that that bit of pin could end up anywhere, including in your eye. Don't do it. The second is that you'll likely take a notch out of the blade, and then the blade will not actually cut fabric anymore. If over a long period of time you don't change the blade, eventually it will get blunt. And when it gets blunt, it will eventually get to the point where it's chewing up fabric. Some fabrics are easier for the blades to cut than others, and if your blade is getting blunt and it's chewing on your fabric, maybe it's time for you to take your machine and get it serviced. Make sure you take the spare blade with you and ask your technician to change it for you. They'll do it without any problems at all. Hope you've learned something about your machine today, and I'll see you next time.